Good morning. Hope you're all having an amazing day. Today's topic is actually going to answer one of the questions one of my viewers had regards to what age did I retire? Actually, I had a lot of people ask me that question. And the answer, of course, is in the title, but also to let you know, I retired at the age of 47. And I already made an episode about how my wife and I were able to retire in our 40s. And that was early on, so I'll leave a link for that episode in the description box. So if you want to go back and take a look at that, how we did it. But I want to make this episode because there's a couple other things that came up that I thought about that I didn't get a chance to put in that episode. So I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity for me to give you guys more information of how I was able to retire at the age of 47. The one thing that I realized when I retired was that I didn't have to retire physically. And what I mean by that is, throughout our life, my wife and I, we were married and we were debt-free. And when we became debt-free, we became financially independent. And technically to me, that's retirement, is when you're financially independent. And what I would encourage anyone, you don't have to physically be retired to be retired, so to speak. You can be financially independent, financially free, where you can do whatever you want, have any job you want, and if you don't like the job, you can leave and get another job. And it's not gonna financially affect you. But to do that, you have to get debt-free. And I think throughout all my videos, in past as well as in the future, I'm gonna talk to you guys about what it feels like to be financially free, financially independent. And that means that you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe the man, so to speak. You don't owe a lender for your home. You don't owe someone that's borrowing you money for the car. You don't owe the credit card companies when you buy a lot of stuff. That, to me, is so much better than retirement, financial freedom. And so, even though we're physically, right now, retired, but back when I was still working, I was financially free. And so having a job, it didn't bother me too much. And of course, my job, I had my own business. So I could control how much business I took. If I didn't want to take a project, I didn't take it. If a client, I thought, you know what, not a good idea to take this client, I didn't take them. I could turn away business because we were financially free. My wife could get laid off, not work, and we're fine because we're financially free. So that burden of debt and stress, I'll tell you what, if you can get rid of that, I don't think you guys be worrying about retirement. I don't think you gotta be like, oh, I have to retire as soon as I can. Early retirement would not even be probably in the conversation if you were debt-free, financially free. Yes, we are physically now retired, but we've pretty much been retired for a long time because we were debt-free. So this is a topic that I didn't get a chance to bring up the last conversation I had when I talked to you guys about our journey of retiring early. And I'm glad I got a chance to answer this question again because this topic is important to know. You're my friends, you know, you come talk to me and say, hey, Griff, how'd you do it? How'd you become retire early? I would tell you the same thing. Get out of debt. Become financially free. I think the one thing that I really feel bad about when it comes to the United States especially is a consumerism, and I talked about this, I think, in my episode with the minimalism, is that we are just bombarded with having to spend money every which way. And it's hard. It's like, I don't want to put it in context of addiction, but it's hard because, you know, when you're used to something, it's been a habit for so many years of your life, and it's kind of just embedded in you, it's hard to break away from that. But ultimately, it really is about, it's really up to us. We have to recognize that we are put in a position where we are subject to a lot of marketing, a lot of sales for everything. And guys, that is a lot of pressure for us to have to always buy something. And we spend a lot of money. So it's hard also for me to kind of have you all understand what I'm trying to say about financial freedom, because unless you've lived it, it's hard to kind of see it. But what I'm trying to tell you is, it is awesome. And I wish this upon everybody that's watching this video, that you can become financially free, that you can, you know, not have to worry about where the money's coming from to pay your bills. And the second point I wanted to make about retiring early, and that I didn't get a chance to talk about earlier, was that we were able to retire early physically because we were able to move abroad. I think that's something that I neglected to bring up earlier on. If you were to ask me, oh, Griff, could you retire in the United States early? I would honestly tell you no. No way we could afford it. The cost of living in the United States right now has just gotten too much, and it's gotten too carried away. And I'm not oblivious to it. It's like not only inflation, but the housing market, everything. So could I retire in the United States? No. I'd still be working. Of course, I'd be financially free, but I'd still be working, because I'd have to make up a lot of the money difference from those extra costs associated with living in the United States. But if you want to become financially free, and also you want to retire early, you also have to take that into consideration. How are we able to do it? Because we moved abroad and had a certain budget to live off of, and knew that my investments were going to pay us over and over again, on top of the money difference of how much we spend and how much we make from our investments. There's going to be leftover money. So I'm reinvesting it back into our portfolio that we make more money. So, and this is going to sound crazy, but in retirement, I'm building my savings more in retirement than when I did when I lived in the United States. So, guys, seriously, it's so crazy how that works. Now, I'll do a cost of living episode later on, talking to you guys more about what it costs for us to live here, or basically our cost of living. I'm gonna give you an idea. Also, people ask, what do you need to retire? And that question is really subjective to who you are or how you spend your money. And it's gonna be totally different from how I am or how my wife and I are and how we spend our money. But I will do an episode having that discussion. But I wanted to kind of address the question of what age I retired, which is 47, and also kind of give you an idea of the things that helped me to prepare for retirement and to get to the position of physically being retired. And I hope this information is very beneficial to you. I hope you guys appreciate it, and if you did, make sure to smash the like button. Also, as always, guys, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your conversation about retiring early and financial independence. Until next time, guys, have yourself a wonderful day, stay positive, and we'll see you back next episode. Bye-bye.